What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I haven't done a DNA test video in a while, and from my very small channel, hopefully won't be small soon though, it'll get big. Even if it's gonna take years, I'm gonna manifest it to existence. But anyway, my most viewed video is about DNA results, right? Because everybody's fascinated with them. Everybody wants to know where the roots are, where they came from, all that stuff. And especially for us Latinos in general, we have a wide variety of roots from all over the world because of how Latin American history was. So in this case, I'm gonna look at some weird that I haven't even talked about, or maybe I just glossed over in the previous video. Neanderthal ancestry. So look at this, man. 64% more Neanderthal than any other customer. Now, I learned about Neanderthals, and they're a misunderstood type people because they were from tens of thousands of years ago, right? Society in the world was obviously way different, and it was a whole nother society essentially. So people had to evolve in certain ways based on their environment. Now, of course, it's tiny Neanderthal DNA because, Neanderthals have been extinct since forever. So it makes sense why people tend to have very little. Now, from what I've heard, Europeans and Native Americans tend to have the most Neanderthal DNA. From what I've heard, you could correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I got 248 variants. Don't know what to make of that. But these ancestry things are all capped though. Look at this. You have one variant associated with being less likely to have a fear of heights. Well, granted, that fear of heights has subsided, but years past I had a massive fear of heights. So I'm doing my Neanderthal ancestors a disservice by being scared of heights. I have one variant associated with being less likely to prefer salty foods over sweet. Interesting. I don't know what to make of that, because sometimes I do prefer salty foods other times, but I like sweet foods too. So it's kind of cap. You have one variant associated with eating leafy greens less frequently. That used to be true, but I'm eating more vegetables now because that's what you were supposed to do. Since a youngin', you're supposed to eat your veggies, but it is what it is, man. So I have 0 variants of all these things. Let me see if this is true. Having difficulty discarding rarely used possessions. Okay, that's kind of true. I ain't no hoarder, but I do still have some clothes that I barely use. You have 0 variants associated with experiencing more itchy mosquito bites. Well, if you live in a city with hella mosquitoes, because they're filled with mosquitoes. Let's be real. Chicago's filled with a lot of mosquitoes. So I don't think it's anything genetic. It's because of, it's because there's a lot of mosquitoes in here. Generally not feeling angry. Now, where was I? Oh, generally not feeling angry when hungry or hangry. To me, it's not much of a correlation between anger and hunger, though. Zero variance associated with having a worse sense of direction. I actually have a worse sense of direction. I get lost all the damn time. You have zero variance associated with being more likely to have an apple body shape than a pear body shape. I never even looked at my shape like that. I never compared it to an apple or a pear. You have zero variance associated with having a worse ability to smell. Nah, sometimes I can't smell anything though. You have zero variance associated with being more likely to have a fear of public speaking. Oh, that is a massive lie. I can't speak in public for a damn thing. But I'm gonna conquer it though. I'll conquer my fear of public speaking. You have zero variance associated with being more likely to cry while cutting onions. I rarely cut onions, so... Well, actually, I do dice onions from time to time. You know, by los tacos, you feel me? Because why not? But I don't cry while doing that. I guess probably because I don't work with a whole lot of onions. That's the thing. I actually would like to learn how onions make people cry. I don't know. You have zero variance associated with being less likely to have hitchhiker's thumb. Let's see. So I guess if it like points or... Okay. I probably don't have it. You have zero variance associated with being a better sprinter than a distance runner. I mean, yeah, I could run for distance better than I could sprint, I suppose. Actually, yeah, that's right. You have zero variance associated with being more likely to sweat during a workout. Okay, now that's true. I can't really... I don't know. I would work out and I wouldn't really sweat. The only way I would sweat is if I start running. But weightlifting workouts, I don't sweat a whole lot. You have zero variance associated with being more likely to have detached earlobes than attached. Yeah, I think my earlobes are attached. I would say so. You have zero variance associated with being less likely to have a chin dimple. I think I did. It's because the beard's covering it. But when I didn't have a beard, I think I did have a chin dimple. I think I do. You have zero variance associated with having more dandruff. I don't know about that. Then again, it's because I've been cutting my hair short, so I can't even tell if I have it no more. I guess when I have longer hair, it does pop up from time to time. Which is part of the reason why I don't like having longer hair. Because then you have to deal with dandruff. And it's like, man, I'll just cut it short, so I don't have to deal with that. You have zero variance associated with being less likely to blush easily. Nah, I blush all the time. You have zero variance associated with being less likely to sneeze with a full stomach. I wouldn't say it's because of a full stomach. I would say it's because of the sun. Whenever there's a lot of sunlight, all of a sudden I start sneezing. You have zero variance associated with being less likely to have stretch marks. No, I had stretch marks before. And a funny story, when I was like 12 or 13, the doctor looked at me, right? Looked at me and my brother, and we both had stretch marks. But I don't even know what they're called, stretch marks, but we had marks because, of course, we were starting to get taller, we were starting to grow, right? And the doctor, for some reason, thought that we got those marks because we got whooped or something, which wasn't the case. This was just because of we were growing, and so it left marks because we were growing. So he had to bring a guy over and confirm, nah, this is just them growing. It's not because of beatings or nothing like that. I'm like, why would he think that? But anyway, you have zero variance associated with being more likely to prefer dark chocolate over milk chocolate. I like both. You have zero variance associated with being less likely to sneeze after eating dark chocolate. Yeah, I don't think I sneeze because of dark chocolate, so that's true. To southern Siberia near the all-time mountains. Oh yeah, that explains it. Yep, that explains why Native Americans do have Neanderthal. Because they are descendants of, Siberians. Yup. Whoa. Didn't mean to show that. But anyway, peace out, everybody.